Welcome to the Georgia Department of Education screencast for second grade teachers. This video will share instructional activities that you can use throughout your year of teaching social studies in second grade. The video focuses on promoting disciplinary thinking in our classrooms. We want students to put on their thinking hat. Everything that we teach in social studies, even at the very youngest levels, involves the disciplinary thinking of these four disciplines: history, geography, political science, and economics. Now, we hear a great deal about historical thinking right now, but normally that research and those activities are geared towards middle and high school. So we want to be able to explore disciplinary thinking like this at the second grade level. What does this mean? We want to use four-hat thinking whenever we're teaching social studies, regardless as to whether we're teaching a specific history, geography, economics, or civic standard. All of these ways of thinking can deepen our students' learning about each standard. How can we spark disciplinary thinking with our young learners? We can do that by having students, at least metaphorically, put on their disciplinary hats and ask good questions in every unit and on every topic we teach. Let's put on our first hat, our historian's hat, and think about some of the questions second graders can explore. Here are some possibilities. How was life different in the past than it is now? How do we know about the past? What can we look at to tell about the past? Why did some things in the past happen? What caused them? What happened as an effect of them? And what happened when, and how does that matter? What questions guide a geographer? Here are some questions at a second grade level from the geography standpoint. Think about how these might vary according to what standard or topic we're teaching. So some questions you might ask are, what does that map show us? What kind of map is that? How does geography shape our lives? Why do people move from place to place? Do they choose to? Are they forced to? How do people use the resources of the earth and the locations around them? How do we do that today? How did they do that in the past? When it comes to the civics and government strand, what kinds of questions does a political scientist ask? What kinds of rules do we need? Who is a good citizen? What is a good citizen? How do people work together? What is government? Why do we need it? What is it good for? Those are the kinds of questions second graders could ask and explore with you. And then our last hat is that of the economist. An economist asks these kinds of questions at the second grade level. How do people get goods and services? How does scarcity affect the decisions that I make? How do people earn money or income? Why do we have trade? And all of these are things that your students actually deal with every day in their classrooms, in the lunchroom, on the playground, in their homes, at play with their friends. They all deal with these concepts. So putting those economic terms on those decision-making opportunities helps our students to think in disciplinary ways. So let's take a second grade topic and apply that four-hat thinking and see what kinds of questions your students might explore. Our topic's going to be Sequoia. His image is located in the middle of the screen. We know that we study Sequoia, so let's think about questions we could have our students generate using the historian's hat. When did he live, we might ask. How do we know about him? What sources do we have about him? What led him to want to create a syllabary? Why did they need one? What effect did that syllabary have on the Cherokee people? When we put on the geographer's hat, we might ask these questions. Where was Sequoia born? Did he stay in one place his whole life? How and when did he come to Georgia? What did Georgia look like when he came here? How did his location help shape him? How does it help shape any of us? Of course, all of these questions lead us to compare and contrast the lives of the figures we're studying with our own lives. So moving to the political scientist hat, how would a political scientist ask about this topic? They might say, what were the laws about Cherokees in Georgia during this time? What kinds of rules or laws did the Cherokee follow? What kinds of courts did the Cherokee have? Were there times when the laws of the Cherokees and that of the other Georgia colonists in conflict. In that case, whose laws won? And the last hat, our economist hat, might lead us to ask the following questions about Sequoyah. Did he sell his syllabary? Was he able to make money with it? Was the Phoenix newspaper that he printed that had English and Cherokee language in it, was it able to make money for him? What other ways did Cherokee make a living during this time? What sorts of economic news was included in the Cherokee newspaper? Those are just some of the questions that you might ask about Sequoyah as you move through the unit on him. And hopefully, thinking about him through the prism of this four-hat thinking can help you ask deeper questions and can help you pull out more information than you might have if you just strictly gone by the history standard itself. And of course, four-hat thinking is an instructional activity that can and should be used with every topic that we teach. We want our students to think like historians, geographers, political scientists, and economists from kindergarten through 12th grade and beyond. Some elementary teachers who have been exploring and thinking about disciplinary thinking in K-5 have come up with visuals for teaching their students how to think from these four perspectives. These are some visuals shared by the Houston County elementary teachers. They created these ideas as prompts that they can put in their classroom or symbols they can use with their students to prompt those four-hat kinds of thinking. Maybe you will see one that you would like to use with your students, or maybe you have your own idea of how to prompt and guide four-hat thinking. I would post something about four-hat thinking or the four different perspectives we're looking at throughout the year in my classroom, and as we're exploring a topic, I would refer back to my poster or chart and say, okay, put on this hat, or think through these eyes, or look at it from this perspective. It can serve as a nice anchor chart as you move through the year. I hope the activities shared in this screencast will provide a helping hand to you as you teach social studies. Be sure to look for other videos in this series made especially for second grade teachers.